Hi, I'm Mr. Simons, and in this video, we're going to look at the top 10 stats you need to know for the 2018 Economics HSC. Now, these are correct as of the 10th of October 2018, so some stats may have changed and you may need to look up the most recent numbers. But this will give you a great idea of those 10 or so numbers that you should have in your head as you go into the exam. So, let's get started. Statistics are extremely important in economics. They show that you understand what is happening right now in the Australian and global economy, and they also show the examiner that you're able to apply the economic theory. So you must have an understanding of current economic statistics. And let's check them out. Statistic number 1 is 3.4%. 3.4% is the annual change in Australia's gross domestic product the year to the June quarter 2018. This is a relatively strong number and has been an increase over what Australia has recorded lately. Statistic number 1A, so I've snuck in an extra one here. This number is 2.8%. 2.8%, this is the International Monetary Fund's forecast for Australia's GDP in 2019 due to the impact of the trade war, the tariffs being imposed between the US and China. So notice that the decrease from that 3.4% to the IMF thinking growth will be more like 2.8% because of these trade wars. Also, fun fact, the IMF has reduced its global growth forecast to 3.7% in 2018 and 19, down from 3.9% previously. Statistic number 2 is 5.3%. This is Australia's unemployment rate in August 2018, a relatively low figure. And remember, the RBA estimates that the non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment, I think I got that right, is 5%. So we're not too far off full employment right now. Statistic number 3 is 13.4%. 13.4% is Australia's underutilisation rate. So that's unemployment plus underemployment. The key thing to remember here is this represents excess capacity, people that Australia could be using to boost aggregate supply. Statistic number 4 is 1.9%. This is Australia's underlying or core inflation rate as of the June quarter 2018. Notice below the RBA's target band of 2 to 3% over the course of the business cycle. Statistic number 5 is 1.5%. This is the RBA's target cash rate as of September 2018. Now remember, the RBA has kept rates on hold since August 2016 at this very number. Statistic number 6 relates to statistic number 5. Statistic number 6 is 2.25%. 2.25%, let's try that again, 2.25% is the US Federal Reserve's benchmark interest rate. So this is the US's equivalent of the RBA. This is their cash rate in America. So we can call it the US Federal Reserve's benchmark interest rate. At 2.25%, you can see this is higher than Australia's 1.5%, and also this is the third time the US Central Bank has raised rates in 2018. One thing to think about is that if the US has higher interest rates, that's going to increase demand for US dollars as people want to put their money in America rather than Australia, where interest rates are lower. So this could affect the value of the Australian dollar. Statistic number 7 is minus 2.9%. Minus 2.9% is Australia's current account balance as a percentage of GDP in the June quarter of 2018. Now that is substantially lower than what it's been in the past. Statistic number 8 is 1.036 billion or 56%. So 1 trillion, let's make it a bit simpler, is Australia's level of foreign debt, and this represents 56% of GDP. Now this is as of the June quarter in 2018. Statistic number 9 is 2.2 billion. Surplus. This is the size of Australia's projected budget surplus, which is forecast to be achieved in 2019-20, worth 0.1% of GDP. Not a huge surplus, but a big deal. Australia hasn't had a surplus since before the global financial crisis. Now, statistic number 10 is US 71 cents. This is the value of $1 Australian dollar as of October 2018. This is the lowest level in 32 months. Now, obviously, this number is going to change before the HSC exam, so you need to know the exact number, but it is worth looking at the fact that the Australian dollar has been steadily depreciating against the US dollar. And so these are the top 10 stats, well, 11 kind of, that would be useful for you to know as you go into your economics exam. Take a look at some of the other videos. They could be very helpful as you revise.